Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 123. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host,
Mr. Dane Cody.
Mr. Dane Cody. We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. How are you doing, fine sir?
Not too bad.
Excellent, excellent.
How about you?
Well, I'm doing great.
You sound a little better than last week.
Oh God, a lot better.
Okay.
I'm still sick. I'm back at work though, so I'm not hacking my lungs up like crazy, but still a little clogged up. And
the PAX Pox is real, people. The PAX Pox is real.
Yeah, it sucks. Hopefully, I didn't get too many people sick down there.
Awesome,
but I don't know. I don't think I shook too many hands.
You weren't sick.
Kissed a lot of people, but didn't shake very many hands.
Mainly just babies, though. You're fine.
Welcome back, everyone. We had a hell of a show last week.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of stuff from PAX. We didn't quite cover it all because we were getting a little long in the tooth, and we didn't want a 4-hour episode. So we have a few things to talk about this week left over from PAX.
Yes.
There was a Nintendo Direct today, so there's a bunch of Nintendo news, which I didn't foresee.
I didn't either, actually. I forgot about it. When it happened, I was like, oh shit, that was today? So
I knew, I had suspicions of some of the stuff that was going to be announced, and that plays into some of the PAX stuff we're going to talk about. But
okay.
Yeah, there was a bunch of I didn't see that coming.
Fair enough.
That's a surprise. So before we get into any of that, we usually start the show with what you've been playing, get into our news and stuff, and our free-for-all section. We don't have any PSAs this week. And but of course, before we even get into that, the most important part of the show. The most important part of the show. The designated drinking section. Yeah. Because you can't be a geekaholic without being an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Dane Cody.
Yes, that's me. What's up?
What are you drinking?
Dude, I am drinking some Glenlivet Nadura.
Nadura.
It is a limited edition scotch, and it is real good. It is aged in sherry casks, and it is delicious.
That just sounds kind of yummy.
Oh, it's got a beautiful color to it, just an ever so slightly more of a reddish tint to it, and it is just, it's so yummy.
That wasn't something you bought when we came back from PAX, was it?
That was actually one my wife picked up
on
her way back from the States after PAX. So,
yeah, that's right, because we ran into her.
Yes. So yeah, it is so yummy. I haven't been drinking quite as much. For any of you who may have come to visit on Friday, I did a nerdy bartender with our friends over at Wabam, and I got
I saw you
a little bit. Okay, I was pretty drunk.
Happy.
Oh, dude, it was a great show. We had a blast. Yeah. It was a ton of fun.
Maybe someone didn't have sucky internet and we could actually stream.
I know.
Looking good on the camera. I'm like, man, Dane looks good on the camera.
Yeah, thanks. I had
maybe
fun.
He could be a streamer.
I know, right? If I was 10 years younger, and that might have been
nothing to do with age. Just rocking that jersey. I'm like, hey, man, he looks like a natural.
Yeah, no, it was fun. We had the Lenovo guys drop in and say hi, and it was good stuff.
There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
I dropped by for a bit and then I deked out.
Yeah, no, for sure, it was fun.
Dropped a sub to make my impression felt, and then left.
Heck yeah. So it was a good time. But I definitely did drink a little bit that night, so I'm just backing it off a little bit this week, but tonight I've really been enjoying this scotch. It's so good. So,
speaking of streaming,
yes,
man, we're so close to me getting good internet.
I hate you so much.
We're so close. They're like, go ahead.
No, they're super close.
Yeah, they're literally like splicing the fiber outside of my house on the street.
Oh.
So that they've like pre-roughed everything in, and now they're like actually have the splicing trucks everywhere splicing all the fiber.
Nice.
So it's like
so close you can almost taste it.
It's probably another month or I don't want it to be 2, but it's at least another month away still. But it's like it's such a good sign.
Yeah, I may have installed OBS Studio and started setting that back up. Nice. So we can maybe start messing around with getting that sorted out. So if people wanted to watch us on Twitch while we record live, that's something we can make happen. Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing with it a little bit, and
it's going to be a definite. By the end of the year, we're going to have a visual component to this podcast.
I'm going to say possibly even by the end of October, maybe. Yeah, because I'm going to get off my ass and I'm going to make this thing happen, and
that would be a nice goal. Even if I'm not
messing around with it in my. I've been messing around with it a little bit just in my spare time, which is none. But every once in a while here, when I have a few free minutes, I've been messing around and getting it sort of set up and pulling stuff over and getting it prepped and whatnot. So one of these days we'll have to get together, do some testing. I'll have to get you to Skype in, and we can, I can get your Skype on there, and we'll have to kind of see how that all works and stuff. But yeah, it's I want to get that done. That's got to be something I want to do. And I also want to start streaming a bit more actual games again. It's been like, I was looking at my Twitch feed. I think the last time I streamed a game, it was 2015.
Holy cow.
I know, it's been a long time.
I remember you streaming freaking Titanfall 2, and I was really jealous because you were like streaming it in like full 1080p HD, and I'm just like...
Oh, the original one you mean? That was Titanfall. That wasn't even Titanfall 2. That was just Titanfall.
Oh, I meant to say Titanfall, but you were like streaming it at 1080, and I'm like...
Yeah, man.
I can't even do 720.
Yeah.
I can do 720 with ridiculous compression, but it's not even worth it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I've been messing around with that. I want to get the streaming stuff back happening, and I want to get us on there. So something to look forward to. You know, just feel free if you don't want to watch on Twitch Live, that's totally cool. But if you do, then that's something that you could hopefully get into if you want in the near future. So stay tuned for that stuff. So you drinking cough syrup?
No, I had a tea, but it's gone now.
Fair enough.
I had some fancy echinacea tea because I'm still sick.
That makes sense. You know, what's good for your throat, man? Whiskey.
Well, I could imagine.
Just saying, you know.
It's obvious. It's a given. But no, I've been drinking tea. I've been taking vitamin C, drinking tea, doing the good stuff, just trying to freaking kick it. It's just the remnants, you know?
Yep.
Freaking cold lasts way too long. It's like, God damn it. Can I just be sick for like 3 days really bad and then go the fuck away?
Yeah, I hear that.
No, it's phlegm for like 2 weeks. And
yeah.
Just runny nose and annoyance.
I guess we should maybe note now too, I'm going to be in California next week. So we haven't fully figured out what's going to happen with the show yet, but just in case there isn't an episode next week, we don't not love you all. We're just, you know,
that's Dane's going on a magical vacation.
It's going to be a magic carpet ride. Maybe even a whole new world.
I'm going to Disneyland.
I'm going to Disneyland. And
yeah, Transformers ride.
And Universal Studios.
And the Mummy.
I'm very excited. I've never been to Universal Studios or Disneyland.
Ride and Harry Potter.
So... Oh man, I'm very excited about the Harry Potter stuff. I know we're going a little bit off on a tangent here, but my wife and I have been doing like the Harry Potter since we knew we were going to Universal. Like we've been watching the movies all through again.
Collection, right?
Yes, of course. Well, duh. So we've been watching through them again, and I think we have like one left, and man, those movies, they definitely started as kids' movies, but they sure get dark in a great way.
That's exciting.
Phenomenal films.
That's a cool fucking ride.
I'm super excited really to go to see that. Yeah, I'm super excited to check all that out.
So if I don't
that's where we'll be next week.
Find a guest podcaster, we might take the week off depending on what's happening. We'll see. Yeah, just in case.
So yeah,
so let's get into it, man. Let's talk about PAX, the rest of our PAX stuff. So
yeah, heck yeah, man.
The rest of my list, because
such
I wrote
good
all this
PAX
shit
stuff.
Down. We covered our Friday.
It's a little bit of a big list.
And on Saturday we had a bunch of appointments, and Sunday. So we went to Ubisoft. That morning, we basically spent the whole morning,
which was awesome.
Lunch, even had lunch there. Thank you very much.
Yep, I think we both got to play.
We played the Crew 2,
all 3 of the games. Yes,
Far Cry 5, and Assassin's Creed Origins. And Crew 2 is kind of a guided demo with the devs. Far Cry 5, they were there, but they're just kind of like, just have at it. And AC Origins did not have any devs there, I don't think. They just had trained booth assistant PR guys there that were helping us play if we got stuck or had questions. But basically Far Cry and Assassin's Creed was just like, have at her. You just open world, figure out what you want to do whatever you want to do. So we started with the Crew 2.
Totally.
They had us... Yeah. Oh, okay, I did. But we'll talk about the Crew 2 first. How's that sound? They had us...
Oh, okay. Fine. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk
race. About. A drifting challenge.
Yep.
And then they also had us finish up with a Grand Prix concept car race. And in between... Yeah,
okay, so you got
in
it sounds like you pretty
all
much
of that,
did the same, very similar.
The big thing with Crew 2 is it's open world, miniaturized, entire America, basically east to west coast, and you have the freedom,
right?
Or
you can essentially drive across the
or
US.
Speedboat. You can your vehicle can transform at will under your control between a boat, a plane, and a car. Or a vehicle, let's say, because it's not just cars. There's bikes and 4x4s and Jesus, all sorts of vehicles.
I just want to start this off with, honestly, out of the 3 demos that we played, I actually thought the Crew 2 was the one that surprised me the most. Because I played the Crew a bit.
See, I haven't played the Crew. I know I own it because
it was an Xbox One game for gold 1 month a while ago.
Yes, and I swear it was on PSN as well.
It may have been. I don't know. I played it for about 3 hours on my Xbox One.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I own it on both, and I played it on neither.
Yeah, and it was not good. It was like really not good. Like the vehicles felt super floaty, and the whole concept just didn't work in my opinion. Like I did not like the Crew. The concept seemed like it would be something right up my alley, like a game that I can just play and jump into and drive everywhere I want and unlock all these cool cars and do races and do other things, kind of like a giant Burnout Paradise almost that spans the entire US. But instead it was just like the vehicle physics kind of sucked. It was like super floaty and the feel wasn't very good. And it did not jive with me at all. So me going into the Crew 2, knowing all of kind of how the Crew worked and what it was all about.
I wish I played the first one to have a better perspective on the improvements of the second one.
Because, honestly, I went into the Crew 2 demo going, the Crew was terrible and...
not up my alley.
Yeah.
To be polite.
Totally. So I went into the Crew 2 thinking, okay, well, this game is not even remotely on my radar, and the Crew was terrible, and I don't know if this is more of that, then I don't really want to even bother with the demo. But the dev was there, and he was very, he talked to me, and we chatted for a bit. I explained, I played the Crew, and I told him flat out, I thought it was not a good game. And he was like, no, we heard that from a lot of people, and, why don't you give this a try? And honestly, I had a lot of fun with it. I feel like they're doing a lot of really neat things. A obviously we just got like a little vertical slice, and like you said, you can change your vehicle at will. So you can be driving down the road, and then all of a sudden you can hit a button and you can transform into a plane, and you can just take off from where you are, and you can be a plane. And I mean, I went up real high. I shot my plane straight up. I was like, how high can I go? And he's like, why don't you give it a shot and see how high you can go? And I went up like 10,000 feet, something like that. And then I kind of got bored, and I was like, okay, well, obviously I can go really, really high. And then I just transformed into a boat, and I just fell all the way back to Earth in my boat.
Yeah, they had us near, I guess we were playing around Manhattan, I think.
Yeah, it was like a big city. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was flying around, and then, I did the same thing. I like flew under a bridge, flew through some buildings.
Totally.
And then basically above the river, I transformed into boat, and then I ended up doing like some boat challenge where it was really reminding me of like Wave Race.
Yeah, kind of, right?
Hitting these pylons and bouncing off the waves.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just effing around. And then he took us, like I was playing, I don't know, I think I was playing against Jason or with Jason.
Yeah, you guys played with each other.
And we, we had a motocross race. I destroyed him.
Right.
We both failed at drifting, though I figured it out, like, at the end.
Right at the end. Yeah, drifting, I honestly thought was pretty hard. I don't know if I can honestly say it, like, clicked. I felt like it was clicking, but it wasn't there yet for me by the end of it.
I got it. Like the goal was to get 1,000 points for that event.
Mm-hmm.
I got like 780 something.
Oh, okay.
And that was like, I figured it out literally in like the last like 3 or 4 turns. I just chained like a giant drift together.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, if I figured this out earlier, I totally would have got it. But
right.
So it was all right. The drifting stuff, there's always a trick to it, and so I don't know if it was the best thing to demo, because unless you've literally played that game before, you probably wouldn't get it, and you're just sliding, crashing all over the place.
I think it was like I said, a vertical slice of the types of things that are going to be in the game. Was kind of my feeling on that. Just to show, like, hey, there's not just you driving around and you messing around. Like,
there's basic racing. There's these different types of challenges. And then there was the concept car Grand Prix that Jason beat me in. So we pretty much we tied between 3 events because we both failed drifting.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I think I beat him score wise, but
probably.
Let's say we tied. But it seemed all right. This game really reminds me of Sea of Thieves, and I think if your buddies are all playing it, you're gonna have a really fun time because there's a lot of stuff to do. But
that's kind of the idea, right? Is that you guys create like a crew and you all go and do stuff together.
Absolutely, it's in the name.
Totally.
They didn't show us stuff, but the guys are like, "Oh, don't go over here, don't do this, don't do that." And clearly, there's some features related to your crew, that have not been shared, but.
I think what surprised me was like the first game had this horrible vehicle physics. Like I said, they felt floaty and really terrible. And I thought that at least in this one, they did a good job of cruising on the line between arcade and sim.
Yeah.
Like I find personally when I play Forza Horizon that it's a game that should feel arcadey, but the driving feels very sim still. And for me, it doesn't really work very well. Like, I want to play Forza, and I want that to be very sim. Whereas, like, this, I felt, did a little bit of a better job as far as, like, yes, this is an arcade racer, but it didn't feel floaty and crappy. Like, they did a pretty good job of making the vehicles and everything feel pretty decent. And it was a beautiful game. Did he show you the rewind function and all that as well?
Yeah.
So there's a really cool feature in the game where, like, at any point you can essentially, like, pause and rewind what you've been doing for the last bit. And then you can replay it again. And if you want, you can actually like replay it with different camera angles, and you could record it and you could save it for later. So if you do something like really cool, you could be like, oh shit, that was awesome. And then rewind it, film it, and you could like upload that to YouTube or put that on your Twitch channel or just put it on your Facebook. Like, it's just a way that you can like share cool stuff with your friends.
Literally highlight some like cool plays.
Totally. You know, like
highlights.
Like I did a wicked loop around, so I went under the bridge and then I did a loop over top of the bridge and then looped back underneath. It took me a couple tries, but I managed to make it work. And then afterwards, I like went and did a couple really cool like shots where I was like looking at it from different angles. And like, it was really neat. Like, that part of it I thought was really cool. Like, I could definitely see, you know, even if you're not playing with friends, I could definitely see like going in there and like messing around to be a lot of fun. So
not playing the first and only seeing the first through like videos or streams, I could definitely identify, the improvements and that, you know, they're really taking this franchise seriously.
Yeah.
And giving it love and attention,
right?
Because they feel like they've got something special there. That being said, I don't. It's fine. It's just I don't think it's for me.
That's fair.
It was. I thought it was totally fine. I had fun with it, and it's just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
but that's not my type of game. So
yeah, it was interesting to me.
It wasn't a total pile.
Yeah. Well, that was, I think, the thing for me. Like, I went into that room thinking, like, okay, this is the thing that I'm going to not really care about or want to spend any time with. And I actually walked out of the room going, Far Cry 5, yep, it's Far Cry, and it's number 5, and it's exactly what you want out of a Far Cry game, except that I want to play it on PC. And then, you know, the Assassin's Creed game, it was like, you know, and obviously we'll talk more about these, but like, I think it surprised me in that the game that I guess didn't have essentially any expectations for surprised me probably the most, just because it was so much better than I had thought it was probably going to be. Does that mean that I'm going to like run out and buy it and drop 1,000 hours into it? Probably not. Does it even mean that I'll buy it when it comes out? Maybe. We'll see. But, you know, but nonetheless, it was a pleasant surprise that I like I said, I wasn't expecting it to actually not be hot garbage like the first one.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So like, if you're thinking that might be your type of game, you like kind of that Forza Horizon, you kind of like that more arcade style game, you have a crew of people that you want to go like do some racing and messing around with, that might be the perfect opportunity for you to get that, you know, so
I played some Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Now, this was the same section that was in the E3 demo and then some.
Okay, so it had a little bit more? Yeah,
well, I think the E3 demo was timed, or it ended when you liberated
the town or the town, that area or whatever.
I can't remember the name of that town now.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is... I don't think this is the opening of the game, because you had your buddies. What do they call them? Guns for hire? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the guns. Stuff. No, I think you're right. The guns for hire were in that game. You could choose at the beginning. There's the dog or the sniper chick or the pilot. You could kind of choose who you want to.
I believe, is the sniper. Nick Rye is the pilot, and then Boomer, your dog. So you could choose any one of those three. So obviously the pilot does bombing runs. I think we talked about this. The girl Grace she snipes or just straight up attacks guys.
Yeah.
And Boomer is like kind of like crowd control management. He like ties up enemies and or just straight up kills them as well.
Right.
And he's the dog that has been seen in the trailers.
Yeah.
So it starts with you liberating this town. God damn it, I wish I remembered the freaking name. I want to say something Falls, but
it's a town in Montana. It's got a funky town in Montana name to it.
So basically the cult guys are in it. And it's similar to basically the forts, or what do they call them in Far Cry? The outposts?
Outposts.
Yeah.
Gotta liberate that outpost.
It's the same thing. Like, you kill all the enemies, and then basically it gets liberated, and then your crew and people take it over, and it's like a safe house essentially for you. Mm-hmm. And after you kill all the enemies, which Sorry, I'm just like having a brain fart. After you free it, you've got the bar and you've got quest givers in the town. The map opens up and you're basically free to do whatever you want. Everyone's seen this section of the game. This is like the launch trailer is basically this section that we've gotten to play.
Right.
So like if you've seen the announcement trailer of this game, it's basically this town. So after you liberate it, you get a quest from the chick in the bar. And basically, she sends you to the airstrip. But you don't have to go there right away. You can jump in a vehicle, which I didn't do at E3. So I drove a Cult 4x4 around, screwed around with that. I ran into some random dude, Cult guy in a rig. So I shot him down because you can drive and shoot. Very similar to Far Cry 4. When you're in a vehicle, you can have it stick to the road and like kind of auto drive while you do shooting.
That's awesome. I didn't go driving
really well.
So.
Oh, yeah, I went driving right away. I wanted to see what it was like. So it has all that stuff from Far Cry 4 in terms of control.
Okay.
And basically, I jacked this guy for a rig, and then I was running around, and they had these, like, what is the name of the cult? Do you remember?
I don't, honestly. Then again, you were clearly much better at it than me. I did not liberate that town. I got my ass handed to me a whole bunch, and the entire time
I've got a note here saying The Chosen, but I don't know if that's the name of them or not. But yeah, so they have like little supply outposts, and there was a silo in the area that we could go. There were some invisible barriers. If you went too far, the demo would like stop. So
tell you like hey,
it's like don't go that way.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I went out of bounds almost. And had to turn around because I didn't want the demo to end and have to redo everything. But there was a silo that belonged to basically the cult. I'm looking up the name because it's really freaking bugging me.
You would.
Hope County. Eden's Gate. That's not the name of the crew.
Is that the name of the town?
I think that might be the name of the town or the area. Is it Eden's Gate? Oh no, Eden's Gate, militaristic doomsday cult. So, yeah.
So there we go.
So, yeah, they have like supply outposts and whatnot, and when you can destroy them, and basically, as the dev was explaining it to me, it almost creates like the 5-star. Or the star rating system in GTA. After you destroy enough of their supplies or like mess up their operation, they'll basically come confront you.
They get very choked.
So I was going around and I found a couple of them that I had taken out, and obviously they're protected. I never got to a point where a crew retaliated yet, but that's one of the other things you can do in the world.
Interesting.
Above and beyond the outpost. There's hunting, there's animals, there's crafting, there's fishing. I went and did some fishing.
Apparently you weren't so good at it though.
What? I was fine at it.
I don't know, man. Jason kicked your ass.
Well, Jason kicked everyone's ass. Our friend Jason snuck in with us, and he tied the biggest fish caught the whole weekend. So I don't know if 60 pounds was the max, but yeah, he tied the other dude, some Ken guy who caught the biggest fish, who was also 60, so he won a nice little mug for that.
Pretty sweet mug.
Yeah, the fishing wasn't bad. It was kind of neat. There's a whole fishing mini game, and then of course I continued with the main mission and got into a plane, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, you were flying around. I was like checking it out over your shoulder there at some point.
I was flying around in the seaplane. Nick Rye, what is it? Nick Rye and Son? Is it Ryson? Man, my notes are I have really bad notes. Like I have doctor printing. It's like really hard to read. Yeah, Nick Rye and Sons. That's the little airfield. And he asks you to go do this thing. And anyway, you jump in the plane, you do like a bombing run on some of the cult stuff. And then basically, another plane, I can't remember what they called it, if they called him an ace or something, but it was one of the cult's pilots. Basically, I had like a little air battle with this dude, which was...
Did he win?
No, I got him.
Are you sure?
It took me a while.
Oh, okay.
No, he took me down the first time.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if he took me down or if I flew out of bounds. I can't remember, but I fucked up and crashed. And then when I respawned, it was like, okay, I got it. And then I did a much better job and took him out.
All right.
But yeah, I got to do the vehicle stuff, did some drive-bys, flew the plane, and I'm like, yeah, I can tell I'm going to like this game. I like the Far Cry games. The only thing that made me upset about the whole demo was I was just like, man, I wish I was playing this on PC.
That was actually the worst thing for me. I don't know what it was. That game more than... I mean, anybody who listens to the podcast knows that I prefer mouse and keyboard, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, but man, that game more than a lot that I've played recently on console, like, just... Oh, and maybe it's because I've never played a Far Cry game on console before. I've played them all on PC, but...
Yeah,
I wanted a mouse and keyboard so bad.
It wasn't the controls for me. The controls were fine because I actually played Far Cry 4 with a controller on PC. I could just tell the visuals. Like, I could tell that I was playing on a console. It was on a PS4 Pro, and I believe it was an upscaled to 4K. So like, it didn't look bad, but when honestly, in my memory, Far Cry 4, I feel like looked a lot crisper and
because you played it on
cleaner,
a PC.
But then I also played it on my PC, right? So I will be getting this game without a doubt. I'm a huge Far Cry fan. I will get it on PC. I don't know if it's going to look any different visually. It is. It's not out for quite a while still. At least I want to say 5 or 6 months. So there could be like more graphical passes and upgrades and textures and stuff. So the console version, it didn't look bad by any means.
No,
don't get me wrong.
I didn't want to play it on PC from a looks perspective. I just wanted a mouse and keyboard because I felt like I was fighting the controls the whole time I played it.
The controls were fine for me. It had like a snap 2 for aiming, which like Grand Theft Auto does when you snap your trigger. It just snaps towards the enemy, and you can like fine tune it if you want to try and get headshots and stuff.
Right.
Which makes playing with the controller very easy. But I just felt like the visuals were I think they were a little grainy. And I'm like, oh man, I wish I was playing on a PC. But no, fuck, that game's awesome. I'm pretty stoked. But I'm a super biased Far Cry fan, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a good demo. I was glad we got to use vehicles and stuff, because at E3 I was really disappointed that I didn't get to see any of that stuff.
Right. Yeah, it was a very, like... For me, it was, here you go. Here's this town. Go ahead. I died a whole bunch of times trying to shoot everybody and kill everybody. One thing that was actually driving me crazy is I told this sniper chick to go to one of these areas and then to shoot somebody, and then I wanted her to just stay up there and shoot people. But then when I tried to direct her at who else to shoot, she then suddenly started climbing down and was going over to where I told her to, and that did not work very well. And I don't know if it was like maybe she's on a cooldown and I didn't realize it. So I was like, oh yeah, shoot him and then shoot him. And I didn't realize that you got to wait for that to cool down. I'm not sure. Anyways, I got myself in hot water a bunch of times, died a bunch. Like I said, wished I had a mouse and keyboard. That being said, I still had a lot of fun with it. It still, I thought, was really good. And I like the idea. It feels different to the other Far Cries in a good way, though. Like, even though it's just a different setting and a lot of the rest of the game is still Far Cry. I didn't play Primal, so for me, I feel like the last Far Cry game I played was 4. So this is definitely a bit of it's a different scenery and stuff, and it's been long enough that I feel like I could play a Far Cry game again, which is cool. So
yeah. And then we played some Assassin's Creed Origins. It was on an Xbox One X, 4K 60. They dropped us off in...
Are you sure about the 4K? Because I asked the guy that I was on, and I asked if it was 4K, and he said it was only 1080p.
Did he?
Yeah, those TVs weren't 4K, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, I thought...
Because I asked, I was like, is this running on 4K?
Maybe the guy I was talking to was wrong then.
I don't know. I definitely asked, and he's like, no, this is 1080p. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, then the guy I spoke to was wrong then.
Either way, I thought the game looked really good.
Unless your guy was wrong. Yeah, it did look... It was very crisp. It looked very nice. It's a pretty Assassin's Creed game. They've always been pretty. It's a nice settings change. Very different from the Europe stuff that we've been having basically forever.
So I'm not going to lie. I skipped the last couple Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, I own... God damn it. The Syndicate was the last one, which was in
London.
England. London.
Yeah.
And there was the one before it.
I can't remember.
It was the first next gen one that had lots of issues.
Was that the one in Paris? I want to say the one in the French Revolution.
Yes, it was in Paris.
In France or whatever.
Syndicate was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the freaking one before that. I own it. And Unity.
Yes, there you go. Assassin's Creed Unity was had some issues.
Yeah.
So I've to be fair, like I said, I've skipped the last couple. That being said, my initial thoughts on this one were that it felt so much more fluid than the other Assassin's Creeds that I've played. In a really good way. I've always felt that the Assassin's Creed games have always been a little bit janky, just the way like you move and stuff. And this one felt much smoother, just getting from place to place, and the way the parkour transitioned. I didn't feel like I had these weird things where I got hung up on little like parts of the environment, or I'd try to do one thing and then it like suddenly I was grabbing something else or jumping the wrong way. I felt like that stuff happened so much less that it made it a lot more enjoyable to play. I liked kind of what they did with the hawk, where you can use the hawk as like a way to kind of you'd get in close to an area.
Instead of the eagle vision in the old games where it went all detective vision style.
Yeah.
Basically, you see through the hawk's eyes. What's his name? I wrote his name down. Senu. Apparently he's an eagle, but he sure as hell doesn't look like an eagle.
So I really liked that, because then you can kind of tag enemies. Awesome. So you get close to an area, then you go into that vision and you can kind of tag enemies and see like where they are like and what's going on. Using a freaking
drone.
Yeah, it's great.
In Wildlands, except for it's not a drone, it's a freaking bird.
It kind of actually is a lot like that.
It's really cool. I really like that feature, and it totally makes sense. More so than the magic vision that they have in the other games.
Yes. I also want to point out that I was cruising down a river, and all of a sudden there was freaking crocodiles that were eating my ass.
I didn't see a crocodile.
Oh man, I was like cruising down the river. I was like, I'll go over here to these pyramids, and you jump in a boat and use that to cruise down the river to get to these pyramids. That'll be cool. And then I like kind of went down this like little side thing, and all of a sudden like these crocodiles came out of nowhere and overturned my boat, and I had to like try and swim to shore, and then they were like chasing me on shore, and it was a whole thing. I was like, holy shit. So that was pretty cool. I mean, it was fun. And yeah, it was like totally came out of nowhere, and I did not expect it, which was really cool. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. And then holy shit, crocodiles. So I really like the setting. I feel like it works really well for an Assassin's Creed game. Just the whole Egypt and just the whole feel of like that whole kind of idea. I feel like it works really well. Obviously too early to tell about the story and stuff like that, because who knows? No, I don't know. I'm holding full judgment for when the actual game comes out, but at least currently, this might actually be an Assassin's Creed game that I pick up and give it a shot. Like this, I felt like it was a game that I could get into and play a bit of. As long as I think as long as I sort of stick to the main story and don't get too sidetracked, that it might be.
There's definitely lots of stuff to do.
Oh man,
they threw us in.
Oh, so much stuff
map,
to
there
do.
was stuff all over it, and there was a couple missions. I completed the mission.
Yeah.
There was like an investigation mission that you were sent on, and then you figured out that these two sisters were blackmailed into doing something, and they had his brother hostage, and that's where you had to basically infiltrate the fort and take down a captain to free their brother.
Which I was easily the worst assassin ever.
Oh man, I snuck in there and murdered those fools so good.
Oh man, I made it work, but I definitely was not very stealthy about it.
Yeah, you could just brute force it. At the start, I fell off the building and didn't realize that there was a guy there, and I found out, so I had to kill a couple guys and not the stealthy manner, but then I ran out and then scaled the building, and then from that part I snuck up and did stealth kills from below, above,
nice
walls.
Sounds like you
I got them all. I did ledge kills. I dove off the top of a building and killed a couple guys. I hid behind a wall. I stealth killed the captain.
Right.
It was just the first. I bumbled it at the start, so I had to take out some guys. You didn't see me. No one. I wasn't here. But you're all dead now.
Yeah.
And then I managed to hit the reset button. Well, I didn't reset. I left and came back and managed to do it the way I wanted to do it. But yeah, they've revised the combat. The control felt really good.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really like the Eagle Vision. I think it's such an awesome upgrade. I don't know how I feel about the main character yet.
Like I said, it's too early to tell.
I like the voice actor. He sounds pretty badass. It's hard to tell because, we don't have the intro and all this stuff, and that's usually where that connection happens.
Yeah.
We're kind of just tossed into the game. I don't know how far in.
I think the guy that I asked was about 10, 15 hours in or something like that, I think he said. Because the characters were level 20. I don't know what so that's the other thing in this game that's new for anybody who doesn't know is they've added levels and loot to Assassin's Creed. So I don't know what the max level is. I don't know if it's 40, if it's 60. I have no idea. All I know is that when I played I was a little over level 20. It was level 23 or something like that. And then while I was playing, I think I leveled up to 24, which, I got a little glimpse of sort of how some of the leveling up stuff works. And that seems really cool. It seems like you can really kind of augment a variety of different things as you play. And really, some of that stuff is really neat. Like when you kill a guy, you can poison him. And so when people come to check on him, they'll get poisoned. All kinds of different sort of stuff like that you can do, which is really cool. So I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised. I really was. Like I said, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a while. So
the only thing I was disappointed about was that I was hoping this game we were going to be playing on Xbox One X, and I was hoping it was going to be 4K 60, and it was going to be the justification as to why I would be buying an Xbox One X.
Right.
I like to play these games on console, even though obviously we've already talked about it. I have a nice PC. But third-person adventure games, platformers, these kind of very not first-person shooter games, I like to play on a console.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like the layback, and I knew we were going to be playing this on Xbox One X because that's what I played at E3, and even then it was still just 4K 30, and I was just thinking, okay, maybe it's just an early build. I swear the Xbox has got to have enough balls to run this at 4K 60, right? And unfortunately, it wasn't. And I'm like, God damn it! I think
that people forget, or I should say, underestimate the horsepower required for 4K 60.
No, but
I honestly do. I truly think that people underestimate that.
It is
hard.
A freaking dedicated machine. It's 6 teraflops. It's a powerful machine, man.
Your 1080 is more than 6 teraflops.
I know it is.
And it has a hard time with 4K 60 is my point. I know it's not I realize that, but I'm just saying.
So I was really hoping, I was like, oh yeah, now I'm going to buy an Xbox One X for this. And that was one of the most disappointing things out of PAX. I didn't come out with any reason as to why I should buy an Xbox One X. I pre-ordered one.
Of course you did.
I have the question, right now, it's why?
I have no idea.
Why?
For me, I don't own a 4K TV.
Microsoft didn't bring anything to the table that says why I have to, besides it being an amazing, powerful console, and it's going to be the place to play games. I feel like that 4K 60 is going to be what they're going to be touting next winter. I feel like maybe games are far enough in development to optimize engines for this fall. And I think next winter, the Xbox One X is going to be really pulling away from the Pro, and it's going to be like, okay, all the best versions are on the system. It seems kind of obvious. It's more than double the power. That seems like a given. Like, that's obvious. But like, to own it on day one, already having a PC and a PS4 Pro, it's like, and already having an Xbox One S, which does 4K 30. Mind you, it's not going to have the high res
upscaling, but yeah,
it's not going to have the high res textures and some of the fancy stuff that the Xbox One X does. It's like, there was no game that was like, this is why you have to own an Xbox One X.
Yeah,
and I was really hoping this game was going to be the one, because then I was like, I'm going to play this on console, but
right.
Anyway, that was a little unrelated tangent. I'm pretty excited for Origins. Again, I'm a freaking Assassin's Creed fan, so I'm biased.
You are. But like I said, I'm
a total pile of dog shit. A little more, we don't know yet.
Cautious about it, but it's definitely, it piqued my interest in a way that I didn't expect, which is cool.
I'm definitely more interested in this than Unity. I did like,
although to be fair, we had a dope Unity demo that year.
I liked Syndicate. I liked Syndicate.
Yeah.
But I never ended up going back to it.
Right.
Because I think I was burnt out.
Yeah, so well, that's the thing. Like, I haven't played one in quite a while, so I don't feel like, oh man, I just played an Assassin's Creed game a year or even 2 ago. It's been probably 3 or 4 years since I played an Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, so now it's,
I believe the main team working on this is the Black Flag team, and Black Flag is hands down my favorite Assassin's Creed game. From a gameplay standpoint, story-wise,
it's bad.
I played the shit out of that game.
I played Origins, and then I actually kind of thought to myself, man, maybe I should go home and play Black Flag. And now I'm almost on the fence of like, maybe I just won't buy Origin and I'll just play Black Flag that I already own. And maybe I'll get my Assassin's Creed. It'll scratch that itch that I have for it that way. So I don't know. We'll see what I decide, but
yeah,
games are expensive. I gotta, choose my games wisely.
So yeah, that was our Ubisoft day. It was cool. We had a lot of fun there, and then we went to Bethesda. I played some Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. It's more Dishonored, new powers, new character.
Dishonored 2.
Well, there's no 2 in this. It's just Dishonored: Death of the Outsider.
Is it a standalone expansion? Because I was understanding that it's it is essentially Dishonored 2 expansion. Was my understanding.
I think it's a standalone game. It's
okay.
40, I'm looking at it. $29, $40, 29 American, 39 Canadian.
Okay, interesting. But it's a standalone.
It's a standalone campaign.
Okay.
With, what's her freaking name?
I don't know. I didn't
remember
play
the name of the main character. I lost it.
Because you're playing as the assassin or the Dishonored 2 character, right?
Nope. It's a character from Dishonored 2.
Oh, okay.
She's a NPC that helps you during the campaign of Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
And it's set a couple months after the end of Dishonored 2.
Oh, cool.
So clearly, the events in my storyline didn't happen according to this game. So my game playthrough was not canon. So those of you who've played Dishonored 2 probably understand what I'm hinting at. But yeah,
so
she's
you're
cool.
Saying you sucked, right?
No, it has nothing to do with sucking.
Sorry.
It has something to do with what happened to this character in my game.
Oh.
But yeah, Billy Lurk, I think she's voiced by what the hell's her goddamn name?
I don't know. Seem very distraught about it, though.
No, I'm not distraught about it. She's a well-known actress, comedian from Friends.
Lisa Kudrow?
No.
I'm trying to think.
A second. Keep talking. Did you play this game?
I watched you play it.
You didn't play it at all?
I did not, no. After that, we went and played other things, and I didn't feel like playing that one.
I'm on the wiki, and you think it would say who voice acted her.
I don't know.
Who's the chick who hosted all the Ubisoft E3 stuff?
Aisha Taylor?
Oh, no. Rosario Dawson.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Aisha, but it's Rosario Dawson voices her.
So, in other words, oh, bloody hell. She's in the Defenders and everything.
Yeah. She
cool.
voices this character. So in Dishonored 2, she's like basically like your quest giver in Dishonored. She helps you along the whole main storyline. Cool. She's also an assassin, but she has very different powers or gifts that she got from the Outsider. Her powers are really cool compared to the other characters. So it's more Dishonored, but very different because she's an entirely new character with
so more stories in that universe, different powers, little different, like, but it felt and played.
Oh yeah, it was a
good, right?
game.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I liked it. I was pretty happy with it. I knew it was coming, but I was like, I kind of got enough Dishonored.
Right.
But from what I played, I'm like, oh yeah, I really like these games. I like this gameplay, these systems, these powers, these mixing up this stealth and chaos.
I swear every E3 and PAX for that matter. Every time I go to PAX, I swear I come home and I want to play all these games that were on my pile of shame. Like I'm Dishonored and Wolfenstein and all these games that I'm like, man, there's just like sequels to this game coming out, and I played the sequel and it was so good, and it reminded me of how good the previous one was. Now I kind of want to go back and play through it's bad.
So, with that being said, they're doing new things with new powers. I don't think that if you weren't a fan of any of if you didn't like any of the Dishonored games to this point, this
isn't going to change your mind at all.
No, I don't think this is going to change your mind at all. But if you've been a fan of the Dishonored stuff, yeah,
and you're looking for more Dishonored, this is a perfect
put this on your radar.
Right.
So after that, we all went and played Wolfenstein,
the new Colossus.
Which was a pretty freaking awesome demo.
It was. Cruising around in a wheelchair. Yeah, it was pretty dope.
I believe it is the intro proper to the game, which makes sense. It seems like it. It is direct sequel to the last game. Some of the same characters are around and villains, which
Blazkowicz
was a spoiler alert because I didn't finish the first game yet because I'm only 3/4 of the way through it. But that game's awesome. Rolling around in a wheelchair shooting Nazis felt surprisingly good.
Right?
It was very different.
It was kind of cool. Like, even though it was
almost like a tank level, but
a little bit
tank.
Yeah, and I thought it was neat how they added the various ways that you could get up and down things because you were in a wheelchair, so you couldn't obviously like cruise up the stairs. Yeah,
you had to use the environment,
which was cool. The shooting and stuff I thought felt really good. Still, man,
the shooting is so tight. It's just such a fast, responsive shooter. Like, I can't believe I missed the first game. Like, the first game is so good.
Yeah, man. First game is real good.
Which obviously you started playing, right?
I totally, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit into what you've been playing. I totally came home and I'm like halfway, maybe even 3/4 of the way through that first game. And I was like, after playing the new Colossus at PAX, I was like, shit, I gotta go home. I have to finish that game before this one comes out, or at least before I play this other one. And it just reminded me of like how good that game was. So yeah, I totally like, we'll talk about more, which is hilarious because as soon as I started playing it again, I was like, holy shit, how did I put this down? Where I stopped at was like in the middle of some crazy ass shit that was going on in Wolfenstein. And I don't know how on earth I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to like stop playing here and not like pick it up for 6 months or 8 months or a year. It was crazy. So yeah,
I mean, I can talk about it now. It's fitting.
Yeah, no, I came home and like, it was here I was like, I don't know what part you're at, and to be fair, like I'm a little bit trying to figure out where the story was.
I broke out of the prison, and then I took out what happens after you break out of the prison?
Oh man, like there's the whole opening sequence. Then you break out. Then you break out of the. Then you break out of the prison. Then you have to. Then you have to essentially like break back into the prison.
Yeah.
And then you have to break back out of it again. I've
done the stage after. I've done the section after you break out again, and you've freed all the guys there. Well, not all the guys.
So essentially, you were in the giant mech suit running around.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did that.
So get this. I started playing my game again, and thank God for Steam saves, because obviously my game was all saved up on Steam.
For whatever reason, I didn't have a Steam save, because when I first played it, I played the intro, and then I just, for whatever reason, whatever took me away from it, I never got back to it. So I had to play that over again, which was fine, because that's like the tutorial section. So
yeah. So I jumped back into my game, and I was in the middle of bursting out of the prison in the mech suit.
No.
Like in the heat of it. Like here I am, I like my game loads up and I'm in a giant mech suit, like capping fools, and I'm like, really? This is like, where I left off? Like, are you serious? So that was kind of funny. So I finished that.
That's a pretty epic thing that happens at the end of that.
Yeah, so
which is why I say spoiler alert, because I figured the someone in that scene wouldn't be around anymore.
Totally.
And they're clearly in the second game, so...
Yeah, I know. I thought that was pretty funny, too.
I was kind of upset about that, because I'm like, oh, I can't wait until I get to kill you. I'm going to kill you so hard. And it's like, clearly I'm not going to get that satisfaction.
And I forgot how the in-between, when you go back to sort of the home base...
The hideout?
How much sort of stuff happens there.
Yeah.
I'd sort of forgot about that.
There's a lot of character building...
Yeah, there's a lot of development that happens in between
little errands and stuff that goes on while you're there.
Yeah.
Nightmares so I finished or bad dreams if you go to bed. There's all kinds of neat little fun stuff that happens.
Oh, totally. So I essentially like finished off that next and started the next sort of real section.
Yeah, that's where I am. That's exactly
so it sounds like you and I are pretty much exactly in the same. Like I just started it and then I had to go, but
that's where I ended before we went to PAX.
Okay. So that's my plan is to continue on that. And, I'm hoping I haven't looked, but I don't know how far. I'm thinking I'm about 3/4 of the way through, same as you, but I haven't looked, so I'm not 100% sure. But I want to finish that before the new Colossus comes out, because that game's really good. And it's taken me way too long to play it. So.
And new Colossus is the end of October.
Yeah.
2014 is when Wolfenstein, the New Order, came out.
I know, right?
$26 on Steam.
There you go.
Canadian, so like $5 American. You're just looking for a good solid shooter, man.
Yeah, if you missed it, definitely pick it up and give it a shot. It is a great FPS.
So, yeah, Wolfenstein 2 is dope. Awesome demo. Pretty sure that was also the opening of the game.
Delicious milkshakes at their booth.
Oh, yeah. Nice
Those strawberry milkshakes were yummy.
From Joe's Diner or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, it was cool.
The U-boat escape. That was a section that we played. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Demo as E3.
Pretty sure, yeah.
And then
you guys checked out.
We checked out. Yeah, you took off. You're like, I'm super cool. I got better stuff to do.
Like a wife.
No, actually, you went and met your wife.
Yep.
We stuck around and played the Evil Within 2. It was a really long demo.
How was that? Like
that game?
It's a horror game, right?
That game looks fucking awesome. I did not play the first game.
Okay, neither did I.
It had its issues aside. It did have a fan base.
Because if memory serves, this was the first Evil Within. That was the first game in a long time that was created by the creator of the original Resident Evil games, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
This is like a new IP from one of the Resident Evil
creators.
Creators, yeah. Evil Within, Shinji Mikami, game director. And he's the game director, I believe, on the second one as well. So the first game to me is kind of like Assassin's Creed 1. It was a decent, well executed. We have this framework, this world, this idea, but they didn't quite get there because it's like the first iteration.
right? Maybe some there was some bugs and some sort of gameplay issues, but
you could tell that this was going to be. It's like Assassin's Creed 2.
Right.
You know, the jump from 1 to 2 was quite a huge jump in terms of quality.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the same thing. This game is really going to, I think, do wonders for this franchise.
Interesting.
Number one, it looks fantastic. It's Resident Evil. It's Silent Hill. It's mind fuckery on another level, like PT. It was scary.
Sounds like a game not for me.
The enemies were disgusting. Like, very, very freaking disgusting.
Do they all look wet?
Oh, they look literally like
something out of your nightmare.
Oh man, they are nightmare creatures like no tomorrow. And there is so much mind fuckery in this game. Like, you'll be going down a hallway and then next scene you're somewhere else and you're getting chased by this crazy creature, and then next scene you're strapped in a hospital chair, and the transition effects are so cool how it happens.
So what you're saying is you don't want to play this in VR?
Well, there is no VR component, so I won't have a heart attack, but this game looks fantastic. It looks like a very solid, answer to a new IP that could stand up to Resident Evil.
Right.
The original Resident Evils. That being said, Resident Evil 7 was fantastic. Return to form. This game, I feel like is, Resident Evil 5 and 6 were pretty decisive games. The franchise kind of went first-person shooter and a little weird. They went heavy shooter and lost a lot of survival horror.
Right.
I feel like this is where Resident Evil 5 and 6 should have gone.
Oh, it's going back to that like super messed up, super survival horror.
Super messed up survival horror. And yeah,
but this sounds almost a little bit more psychological, like you said.
And it's got a huge psychological, like I said, a bunch of mindfuckery effects going on. It was cool. I liked what we saw and played. This, I didn't care for the first one. The first one was like, oh, I want to be Resident Evil. This looks like something special. Like,
interesting.
Like they're getting to the vision they were aiming for.
Well, like I said, I'm not a big horror game fan, so it'll probably be a skip for me, but I'm always interested. I have the weirdest fascination with like horror movies and stuff, like I don't
horror games.
Like watching them necessarily myself.
Yeah.
But I'm super interested in like knowing about what's going on with the characters. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't want to go see it, but I watched
not at all.
But I watched like 4 videos yesterday about like who the characters were and like what the story was, and I'm super intrigued by it all.
Yeah.
But I know myself, and I know like I think if I went to see it, I'd probably have a heart attack halfway through the theater and be like, or halfway through the movie, and I'd never go see another one. But nonetheless, I'm super interested. And I feel like the same thing kind of happens with these horror games where I'm like really interested and I wish I could play them in a weird way. But I know as soon as I try to play them, they make me super uncomfortable and I get stressed out and I don't want to play them anymore. So then I don't. But yeah.
I don't like scary movies at all, but man, scary games for whatever reason I feel like is different. Because I guess I have input and I'm not totally helpless.
Yeah, maybe. It's interesting.
It looks good. I'm pretty excited. It wasn't on my radar. It's on my radar.
That's cool. That's awesome.
And it was a totally not guided demo. We just did whatever the hell we wanted.
Awesome.
From that, I think we just ran around and did indie stuff. We talked a lot about most of the stuff, memorable stuff from that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the next day we went to Nintendo.
Yeah.
And we played Skyrim on the Switch.
It's Skyrim, and it's on the Switch.
It is very reminiscent of the 360 PS3 version.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not the crazy remastered visual version that just came out.
For the PS4. And Xbox
that being
One.
said, it's freaking Skyrim in your backpack and on the
go.
road.
Yeah.
And it's freaking Skyrim. It looks good on the TV, but in handheld mode, it's like, holy crap, I can't believe I'm playing this. This is freaking Skyrim.
Yeah.
In my hands. It's so impressive.
And if you like Skyrim, that's amazing. And if you don't, it's not going to change your mind because it is literally just Skyrim.
It's still Skyrim, but man, and I assume it runs 720p in the tablet mode, or handheld mode. It looked great. It played well, and I'm like, shit, dude. I've been wanting to go back to Skyrim.
Why?
Because it's such a good game. But every time I go and play it on PC, it's like, I should be doing something else. I've already dumped hundreds of hours in this game, but I could see myself playing it on the Switch.
I feel, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a big Skyrim fan. It's for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, we know you don't like Skyrim. You hate Fallout.
Didn't hook me, man. I don't know what it is about those games. I don't know what it is about those games. They're not for me. So, like, I'm happy that it's there and it is content for people who own a Switch that want more on their Switch. And maybe you're one of those people that only own a Switch and don't own. Maybe you own a PC and a Switch and you feel that there's not enough things to play on your PC and you want to play more things on your Switch. Maybe you're one of those people that, unlike myself, have way more time than you know what to do with and you can play Switch games. Then yes, I feel like if you missed Skyrim or you wanted to play way more Skyrim, then you can totally do this on the go. And it is a full Skyrim. I think it seemed to run pretty good. There's a few little hitches here and there, but overall it seemed really good.
So when we played it, they didn't have a release date.
No, but then today,
obviously after the Nintendo Direct today, we have a release. It's coming November 17th. So that's pretty exciting.
Which doesn't surprise me because this game seemed very far along when we played it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. And it has amiibo support. I think I might end up buying this game for the third time.
Oh, anyways. So then it
was a nice surprise. I played some Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah.
It was the same demo I had at E3. There's not much to add to this. If you listen to E3 show, it's Dynasty Warriors, aka Muso, game with the Fire Emblem characters. To be honest, if it didn't have Fire Emblem characters,
I wouldn't care.
I probably wouldn't be interested in this game at all.
It's the same reason I bought the Berserk one, because it had Berserk and it was that story and those characters.
Combos,
and, exactly.
Characters you like. Yeah, so I will pick up this game
mindless.
Because, it's a mindless combo button mashing game.
You feel like a total badass though. Let's be honest. You play this and you will destroy 1,000 dudes. Or you'll
get 1,000 hit combos. It's literally ridiculous.
It's great. So I mean, it's a lot of fun. But yes, it's definitely that type of game.
I played as my waifu, and it was great. I will buy this game. If this game didn't have Fire Emblem, I probably wouldn't pick it up. People love these games. It's a very particular set of people who like these games. You probably know if you've played these kinds of games. The combat systems, they're not very in-depth. They're quite simple with
massive combos that destroy 50 guys.
Very button mashy combos and gigantic over-the-top super moves and combo tag team moves you can pull off, but they're not. It's not like a God of War or a Ninja Gaiden with or Devil May Cry, even with a complicated, or Bayonetta, even a complicated third-person combo system. There isn't as much depth as those in terms of combos. It's almost pretty autopilot. But hey, it has Fire Emblem, so I'm a sucker for Fire Emblem. We already know that. I don't think this game's for everybody. If you don't like Dynasty Warriors or these types of games, you probably
this isn't going to change your mind.
It's not going to float your boat. But it looked great. It looks great.
Yeah, it did look surprisingly well, and I was fairly impressed. It ran pretty good.
Yeah, it ran fine.
There was definitely moments where there was a ton of dudes on screen and stuff that it slowed down a little bit, but overall I was pretty impressed with the frame rate. So,
and then you played Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Kind of, yeah.
Which is a Japanese role-playing game, multi-party. It almost felt like an MMO kind of.
It doesn't really play like an MMO though.
It was a lot of auto attacks, was it not? And then
kind of like there was a lot of first of all, there's a ton of systems. We were playing it
tons of systems.
Like I think he said 20 they or so hours in, and so he's trying to explain all the different systems, and like there's. I feel like that would be a game.
The arts system, which are tied to the blades that you have equipped.
Oh man,
the blades are basically like assist characters that are basically the characters themselves are essentially weapons that your main characters use, and then you build up your arts, and then you do different level attacks, and then
those are combos that you do, and
there's a huge learning curve to this.
Oh, so big.
It was in the direct today. I didn't catch the whole direct, but I watched probably half of it, and I saw the section of this, and it was basically based around the section that they showed us and that you kind of played.
Yeah.
And I think I might be interested.
It's a huge game. It looks pretty good.
Have their crazy fans. Like the first game on Wii, it was recently just reissued.
Well, it makes sense. These are
it was a very expensive game.
Well, there wasn't a ton of there wasn't a ton of JRPGs that came out on those platforms.
No,
and especially the ones that were good. So the fact that these were good on those platforms, it really did make, if you were a JRPG fan, this was a way that you could finally get that in you and have a way to play those games. So I definitely understand why people would be very excited and very happy with these games. And to be fair, like I said, I also they were very well reviewed. It's a huge MMO in the vein of, I don't want to say, well, it's actually, to be honest with you, it felt a lot closer to the newer Final Fantasy game, like 15, I think, than.
Oh, absolutely.
Like just the way the play style was and the way you run around, and like even during combat, you're still moving your character and doing all kinds of stuff like that. It felt very reminiscent of that. I'm hoping that they managed to get the frame rate up a little bit. I mean, obviously it's early, and he even said that we were playing a really early build of the game.
We did get a release date for that as well today. Yep. That's December 1st.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. So to be fair, that like he flat out told us that the build that we were playing was very early, and much like he wished that he could have showed us another build, but they weren't showing that one. But he said like the build that we were playing was from, I think he said March. So I mean, like this game could be very different even when we see it. I think it looked pretty good. It did have a bit of hitching and stuff when we were in the huge areas and whatnot. And obviously, like it's so hard because you go from playing, these games like the new Colossus and whatnot on PS4 and Xbox Ones, and then you play something that can, do 720p on the TV or 1080p sort of upscale, then the horsepower just isn't there on the Switch. And I'm not saying the game looked bad. It definitely looked really good for what it was, but it definitely, it is definitely not a Final Fantasy 15 even, it's not that. You're not going to go, holy shit, this is gorgeous and this is huge.
I feel like it looks better in the trailer they showed today. So
yeah, and like I said,
probably a lot of weight to what he was saying that was an early build, because watching the trailer from the Nintendo Direct today, I'm like, I don't remember the game looking this crisp. It looked essentially grainy.
Yeah, exactly.
And it looks very crisp in the trailer today, so I'm
good.
Hoping it's not a bullshit trailer.
Or they captured straight from the Switch handheld mode versus on the screen.
Mm-hmm, that's true. Because it did look fantastic in handheld mode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I said, the build we played was super early. If you're a JRPG fan, I feel like this is probably going to be right up your alley. And if you own a Switch, you're probably going to want to play this. It's a really cool idea.
The fans of this series they're pretty crazy. So they're going to be pretty happy.
And like he was explaining some of the universe, which is there's essentially these giant beasts that have cities and things that people live in floating in like the air essentially. And there's not really any there's not really a planet, so to speak. And you travel from beast to beast. And that's kind of like the world, which like super cool idea and a really neat sort of universe idea. So I'm really curious to see where that goes and where that gets taken. So
yeah. After that appointment,
then we played a little more Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, we went
which
back
we
to
talked
Nintendo.
about.
And then we basically just did a bunch of random shit, which is more indie games, which I think we talked about most of them because I wrote them all down, which we mentioned last week.
Mm-hmm.
I played some Dragon Ball again against listener Brian. I was kicking his ass, and then I don't know what happened. I fucked it up, and then he beat me in the end.
Yeah, I heard he kicked your ass.
No, I was really kicking his ass, and he'll probably admit to it. Like I was doing really well, and then I couldn't pull any moves anymore, and he just freaking murdered me. I literally like had a seizure while playing, and he just kicked my ass like nonstop. Like he came back from literally the brink of death.
Oh, that's awesome! I wish I was there to see that.
That game's cool.
That game is so pretty.
We played a Vive game, Sprint Vector, like a versus VR runner.
Yes, we did.
That was interesting.
It was weird.
It was weird.
It was very sort of strange.
Basically, you take the Vive touch or hand controllers, and you basically are swinging your arms up and down, almost like you're doing like ski pole cross country motion.
Yeah, they were almost like skating.
Yeah, and the faster you do it, the faster you run. But you're also pulling the trigger and letting go at the same time.
So almost think of like you're using like ski poles, and you almost want to like stick one in the ground and use it to like pull forward, and that's kind of the same sort of motion and idea that they wanted you to kind of do. There was a little bit of a learning curve to it, and like honestly, Rick kicked my ass in it.
Oh, I clicked during they gave us a little practice run, and I didn't get it. I wasn't doing the motion right, so I was going super slow. But when we actually started playing, it clicked, and then I was just off to the races. You run across concrete surfaces. There's dips and valleys and jumps, and you use your head to basically steer. And
there was kind of Mario Kart style power ups too, where at one point I got rockets that I shot you with.
Yeah, and you slowed me down. And I know I got some bomb thing that I was dropping because you were behind me. I don't know if I ever hit you with it because
No, I was so far behind you.
But you jump. You do like a double jump, and then when you're up high, you just stick your arms out like Superman, and you can like glide. It was kind of neat, but
it was weird. And I think
it's your classic VR. Here's a neat experience, aka demo. Am I gonna buy this game? Probably not.
I think it's great for a thing like PAX where you can
you're gonna have two people with two Vive setups.
and you can kind of almost have a competition, which is what they were having there. They were giving away some dope stuff if you managed to have the best time for all the PAX, which was super cool. They were giving away like Intel processor.
i7s.
Yeah, they were giving away an Intel i7 Extreme Edition processor, which was super dope.
Crazy. That was fun.
Yeah, it was cool. Huge shout out to Rico in the Intel booth for hooking us up with that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Another Rico.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a fun game. I don't have a Vive.
Me neither.
But hey, if you've got a buddy with a Vive,
sure you go.
I'll tell you one thing. I felt like I worked out after.
Oh my gosh.
I'm tired.
I felt so out of shape afterwards. It was crazy.
I'm like, wow, I just feel like I ran like 5 miles.
Yeah.
Not much to say about the Microsoft booth. That's where I played Dragon Ball Z. They had Forza 7, which I played at E3, so I didn't need to play that again. That game looks fantastic. It is 4K 60. Unfortunately, I'm a Horizon guy. I'm not a proper Forza guy, so as beautiful as it is, it does nothing for me. They had Sea of Thieves. I talked about Sea of Thieves at E3. I don't know how I feel about that game. That game demos really well, and it's a lot of fun when you're playing with some people.
I still don't know what the hell it is. Is it an MMO? Is it only like
no? It's not an MMO, but I don't know if it's only multiplayer or if there's a campaign.
Right.
Do you have
so that's what I mean. Like, what partners? Is it? It's so weird.
It's like every time I've played it, it's been like 4-on-4 with treasure hunting,
right,
and ship battles. But again, without your mates,
nah,
that game is gonna like sink or swim. Like, I don't want to play that game with randoms because it requires way too much coordination.
And probably voice chat.
And absolutely voice chat.
And so, let's be honest, do you really want to voice chat with randos?
If you've got 3 people that seem down for it, you know what? You'll probably have a really good time with that game. But then again, that can be said about any game with 3 of your friends.
Wildlands with 3 of your friends, pretty dope.
Yeah. I don't know about that game. It really boils down to whether it has a campaign. It was demoed fun at E3, but I still don't know about it. What else did they have? They didn't have Crackdown because that got delayed.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that's going to get delayed again.
See, and I've got Forza 7 this fall and Gran Turismo Sport coming.
They had PUBG in their booth. People weren't sure if it was a PC version being played with Xbox controllers. Someone said they swore they saw a Windows error screen at some point. So there was some question as to the legitimacy of that demo. I don't know.
Does it really matter? I mean, they're developing the game on PC.
It didn't look like the PC version, so I feel like it was Xbox version, but it could have been on dev kit, which
are PCs.
Is a fucking Windows machine, so you would have seen errors, right?
Exactly.
That looked great. Man, that PUBG was like in every booth.
Yeah, I was kind of amazed at how many places had PUBG in them. Like, there was a lot.
They had Minecraft once again. People lining up for a game that you could just play right fucking now.
I will never understand that.
No, that blows me away.
I'm going to go to PAX. I'm going to wait in a line that's surprisingly large for PAX and to play a game that I could have played for, the last 6 years? I mean, Minecraft's been out a long time. So
yeah, it has been out a long time. Me and Scott played a VR game on PlayStation VR, Spark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was like handball or like Tron, like throwing discs in Tron, or like VR air hockey, I guess.
Oh, so like Hollow Ball that you can buy right now.
Yeah. It was cool. I kicked Scott's ass, and then he kicked my ass. Again, I had issues with the tracking every once in a while, but then when I figured it out, I did really well. One hand, you have a shield so you can block the ball, like air hockey style. And then your other hand, you can catch it and then throw it, bounce it off the walls, the ceiling, the floor. It was neat.
Yeah, it sounds like literally Hollow Ball. Like I have that for PSVR, and it is pretty much exactly that. It's like there's a hallway, you're bouncing the ball back and forth, you can bounce it off the wall, off the ceiling, and you're trying to score points on the other guy. So yeah.
Yeah, it was neat.
Cool.
It was, again, like you said, a PAX demo.
Yeah.
Will I buy it? Probably not. And then, yeah, we just did a bunch of random shit on the 6th floor. Divinity Original Sin 2 is up there. That looks really awesome. The D&D Dungeon Master campaign style component of the game that the dev was talking to us about
seems really neat.
Sounds really freaking awesome.
Like, if you had some people that were super into that and like you could get into that, oh man, I bet like that would be awesome. So it has the capability to essentially create full-on campaigns for your friends.
Yeah, and one of you is the Dungeon Master, and your
you
buddies,
essentially
you're playing
play it in real time.
Yeah, with visuals and spells and graphics and everything. And they've built a whole component in that using that game because
totally
it is a D&D based RPG system, right?
Yeah, so. Yeah. I think it's even licensed the D&D.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That game looked really cool, and the first game was very well received. It was a huge early Kickstarter success.
Yes,
I haven't played it, but the first one, but I know it's loved, and the second one looks cool, and that component sounds really cool. Especially me and my buddies used to play D&D, and up until one of our friends moved away.
Right, so this would almost be a way that you guys could...
be a way we could play D&D again. Like, we had a campaign going for like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I don't know, there's so many indies. As they come out or come up, we will... Yeah.
Talk about them.
We will talk about them.
Yeah.
Too many to remember.
Oh, man, I know. I'm glad
that was awesome.
I'm glad that we made a giant list because
it was freaking over in a heartbeat. That's the thing that sucked. Like, I was so looking forward to it. I'm like, yeah, PAX 4 days, and then it's like, oh man, we're back already.
I know,
and I'm sick. This fucking sucks.
We're back already. Luckily, I'm not sick. So
yeah. So I guess we can get into what you've been playing. Obviously, Destiny 2. Yeah, that game's real good.
Regale me with your stories of Destiny 2.
That's all I can think about. That's all I want to do. I seriously was like trying to think about how not to record tonight so I could go play Destiny 2.
I can honestly say, I've been all week. I've been on the fence.
You've been itching on that trigger.
I'm like, man, do I just buy it now on PS4 and then play it? But like, as time goes on, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to be able to hold out for the PC version.
Don't do it, because every time I play it, I feel so fucking guilty. Because like, I want to make another character. I want to make 2 other characters. I want to play the campaign again. I want to do all the stuff, and it's like...
But the PC version, which is so much better, is on the way.
I can't, because I know I'm going to go to PC. And then once I go to PC, unless there's some kind of character importer, all the time that I'm putting into this character is going to go away. Well, It's not useless. This is going to be my character. I do have a lot of friends on PS4, and this will be I'll be playing with them with this character. Like, there's no doubt about it. I'm going to do the raid before the PC version comes out.
Oh, of course.
I've done most of the content in this game.
Wow.
And I haven't done the Nightfall. There's a lot of cool systems. There's so much stuff to do in this game, though I've done the campaign. I haven't completed all the world quests. I haven't completed all the adventures. I haven't got all the lost sectors.
I would hope not. The game only came out a week ago.
But I've probably put like already easily 30 or 40 hours into it already. I've been up till midnight at least every night since it came out. And I was sick. And I was sick 3 days last week. So think about that.
Oh, jeez.
It's fucking good. It's so good. Like, I love it so much. And it's like, God damn it. Why isn't the PC version here?
Yeah.
Because it breaks my heart.
It's been hard. It really has been hard.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone's been talking about it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Twitter feed. The raid went live today.
Yeah, there's that. There's also the fact that I know the PS4 is getting exclusive content. So that kind of makes me like, oh, do I just pick it up now and play it? And then when the PC one comes out...
What is there? There's an exclusive Strike. There's an exclusive Exotic.
You know what? I know that all that shit will come later. Like we're talking much later to PC and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, so right now, I'm a power level. Because it's not a light level anymore. It's power level.
Right.
272. Okay. So I'm good enough for the raid.
What's the max right now? Is it 280?
No, I think it's 300 is the max.
Like, okay.
Power level 300. I think it's 300. It might be 310 or 320. Because I thought I saw somewhere that said max infusion 310 or 320. But now that the raid's available, maybe there's raid gear that goes up that high. I do not know.
Right.
Man,
because I heard that like a team beat the raid today in 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours, which is that's not bad.
That's still crazy that it took them 6 hours. And I realized this was the first playthrough, so
and they're rushing and they're trying to be world's first. It's a pretty talented crew of guys who did do it. That's for sure.
Wow. That's still crazy.
It is crazy. It's awesome. I can't wait to do the raid. I want to be over 280 before I do it. I don't think I'll attempt the raid for another week or two. I'm hoping to do a Nightfall tonight after we're done here.
You have a problem.
It's so
you
cool.
Know that, right?
Like, I was playing with Darren the other day, and he like just started the game.
Yeah.
and I just jumped in with him, and it didn't matter. I was getting loot my level. I was making I was making reputation gains that got me more powerful loot. And even though he was very early in the game and I had already beaten the game, I was still making progress. So that was still fun.
Like, it still made sense for you to play with him. It wasn't just like, oh, well, get a hold of me when you hit max level.
I wasn't making meta best way to play grind to power level, but it wasn't like playing with a low level character in Diablo where you get nothing. Like where you're getting no experience and nothing. You're just playing to play with your friend for the sake of playing with your friend.
Right. They may have changed that by now, by the way. I haven't played Diablo in years.
Yeah, that's true. You can power level and then you still get shit and your friend's being dragged through, but that's not fun for the person being dragged through. But I was playing with him and I was gaining stuff. I got loot. I got an exotic engram. It was awesome. We did public events. It was worthwhile. Both of us were winning. That was fun. I played with another listener of the show, Dustin, one of my buddies and a listener of the show, last night. And he's new to Destiny. He never got into the first one. And it was
very cool.
So cool to see how excited he was. And then learning all these systems. Like, there is a lot of depth to Destiny.
Yeah.
In terms of how you level up, equipping gear, class abilities, just even the nuances of the different weapon types and how best to use them, or the damage types.
Right.
And these are all things he didn't know. He was just asking me all these questions oh, that's cool. And it was fun playing with him as well. And we were just doing public events and hunting down treasure chests. Okay. But it was still progressing and we were getting these cool battles. The public events are so frequent. And they just feel like such epic boss fights all the time, just one after another. There's so much more stuff going on compared to the first game.
Oh, that makes me happy.
And then you still have that awesome shooter at the heart of it all.
Right. So the shooting all still feels super good,
but without the big dips that the first game had. Like the first game, when you were in a patrol. There was big dips of nothing. You're just going around on your Sparrow. There's no enemies. It's just kind of you're going to point A to B and there's nothing to do and nothing to see.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas around every nook and cranny here is you got the lost sectors, which are basically little loot caves. They're nice. Filled with random enemy types. And at the end, there's a loot chest.
Right.
That I think they're on a 48-hour respawn. But
so is that kind of a heralding back to the loot cave where people were just shooting into a cave? Well, no,
it's not just a cave. I call it a loot cave in that there's actually a reward at the end of it. They're like mini dungeons. There'll be a high priority target in there and a bunch of different enemy types, depending, Vex or who are Cabal or Fallen, yada yada.
Right. Okay.
And you clear out these big mini dungeons, and then at the end there's essentially a boss, and then there's a chest. You get some loot, guaranteed loot, and a high chance for legendaries and exotics.
Right.
Also, if you get shit all, you get rep tokens. Every planet has an NPC that you turn in tokens to, and you get legendary gear.
Right.
When you fill out reputation, you get 2 pieces of gear. I don't know if you get a weapon and armor, or if it's just 2 pieces of legendary gear. Not always 2, because you can get exotics. You can get anything, right?
Right. Oh, okay.
So, even if you got nothing from doing patrols, or even the adventures, which are whole missions that they're not story campaign missions, but they are other missions. Hence the name adventures. You get loot from those as well. And at the very same time, if you don't get good loot, you're always getting reputation, these tokens that you can trade in and you get stuff. You get something for your time.
Which is huge.
I really feel like you're always they're doling out the loot so much more than the first game.
Because that was part of the problem with the first game, is that it hit a point where it kind of didn't feel like it respected your time in a way.
Get me wrong. I'm at a point right now, after 265, it is a grind.
Right.
But it's not.
But it's not like let's do the same strike over and over again like the first one.
No, dude, I've done 2 strikes. You don't have to do strikes.
That's awesome.
There's 6 strikes. I've only done 2. They're both awesome. I just haven't done them because they're a bigger time commitment, and I'm having so much fun doing patrols and random world events and hunting down treasure chests.
Right.
on these planets that are so in depth. There's like so many nooks and crannies. Like they compared to the first game, the level of depth in the environments is just tenfold.
That's awesome.
And then it's still awesome shooter Destiny. Like that's what we loved about the first game.
Oh, absolutely! Like the shooting in Destiny was incredible. That was something the first one had that was awesome.
All these quality of life improvements. You know, you just go from one planet to another. You don't have to return to orbit and then choose where there's no big delay. It's just boom, load, you're at the other planet.
Right.
Boom. Even on the maps, you don't want to jump on your Sparrow and go all the way around the planet. There's fast travel points on the maps. You can fast travel from, one side of the map to the other.
That's awesome.
In like seconds. Like there's such improvements. It is still Destiny, but they've improved so many things. There are weird systems that are just like head scratching, but hey, but that's Destiny.
Yeah.
But man, fuck, it's so good. I fucking love it. The music's phenomenal. The environments are amazing. It's such a fucking dope game. I love it so much. And it kills me at the same time because it's like, I want to make another character and I want to play through the campaign again. And it's like, but at the same time, I don't want to play for 2 months and burn out before the PC version comes out. So it's like, nope, just play your Warlock.
That's actually the biggest thing.
It's so hard. It's so hard,
holding me back from buying it actually right now.
At the same time, it's like, maybe I shouldn't play it up. I should play something else because, you're going to play it on PC, but it's so good that I can't not play. And I've been playing with people and it's fun and it's fucking Destiny that I love so much. So,
well, dude, something I completely forgot about was like Mario versus Rabbids came out this week. And like
2 weeks ago, it came out before PAX.
And like I kind of didn't even realize it till, I don't know. It was like I felt like I blinked and it's here and like, yeah, I kind of want to play that. Like, we're hitting that point now where so many games are coming out, man.
Yep. Metroid. By the way, Nintendo was nice enough to supply me with a copy of Metroid for 3DS. I will have stuff to say about that next week.
When you're allowed to say stuff about it?
Yeah. Well, we played it at PAX. I already like what I played so far. I doubt I'm going to beat it between now and then, but who knows? We'll see.
Depends on how sick you get.
That comes out on Friday. There's more Amiibo on Friday.
God, more Amiibo.
The raid came out in Destiny. I don't know if I'm going to get to that. Be prepared for me to be talking about Destiny for the next few weeks.
And by the time you're done talking about Destiny is when it'll come out for PC, and then we'll be talking about more Destiny.
Then we'll be talking about it more because then you'll get to experience it all. I'll get to Sherpa all you guys. I'll be like Obi-Wan.
So, should we maybe slide into... Oh, no, hold on.
No, I got one quick thing to say before we're done what you've been playing. You guys all know I'm an idiot and I've been still playing Fire Emblem Heroes. Excuse me. On mobile. Something I discovered. I don't know if anyone out there plays this game anymore. And I just play it because I'm a sucker for Fire Emblem.
Right.
There is something called Tempest Trials that I never took advantage of before. And it's a really easy, well, not easy. If you have a maxed out crew of level 40 characters, which I have a few, it's a really easy way to grind out basically reputation, and they have different rewards as you get more points during the event. It's like a timed event. Similar to the events in Transformers Earth Wars.
Right.
But they're much longer. I think this last event was 6 days.
Oh, wow.
And they go very high, but you don't have to go too high, and you can unlock a 5-star character. And this most recent event, I unlocked Marth with literally just... I didn't play tons, but I wouldn't say any more effort than I put into our Transformers weekend events, and I got a 5-star character.
Wow.
Yeah, a 5-star Marth, so... which is pretty freaking sweet.
That was the first 5-star I had.
No, it's a different version of Marth. It's the enigmatic blade Marth. It's actually Lucina. Spoiler alert, it's actually Lucina from Fates. She's wearing a mask and she's pretending to be Marth, who is her father.
Okay.
And she's from the future. Don't worry about it.
Sure, yeah.
Anyway, it's a different version of Marth. But you can get a 5-star. I didn't know these existed. I never paid attention to Tempest Trials.
Oh, so I see.
There haven't been many because they're not on all the time. But man, it's not a hard way to get a 5-star character. I have so many 5 stars. And I've mentioned this before. The thing about this game, love or hate Fire Emblem. I've been playing this game. When did it come out? February?
Yeah, you've been playing it a lot since it came out.
Yeah, but since February, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 5-star characters.
Wow.
And I do not play this game every day. I do not grind it like crazy. I haven't spent a single dime, but I get rewarded for my time. I should give them money because I do play the game probably more than any other game. They just have such a good reward system, and I feel like my time's valued. Man, like just compared to other mobile games and quotes, I have very few good characters in that game. I actually have spent $20 or $30 on that game and felt ripped off every time.
Oh, that is the most, yeah.
And this game that I've spent no money on except for giving my time and attention, not even much more than the other unsaid game.
Right.
I've gotten tons of characters and I'm like, yes, and like feel rewarded for my time, and I have awesome rewards, and I haven't put any money into it, which is crazy. Anyway,
yeah,
rant over.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you still play that game, make sure you check out Tempest Trials. Good way to get 5-star characters. So, news.
Yeah.
PUBG breaks 10 million copies sold. Jesus Christ. Literally, I swear 2 weeks ago, they were at 8 million. This game is a phenomenon. We already know this. We've talked about it.
I'm wondering, actually, like, to be fair, like that came out like a few days ago. I'm wondering how many more million they've sold already.
In days. Yeah,
it seems like it. It seems like every week they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're up another million or two, or I don't know. We should start taking bets on like how long till they're going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're at 15 million.
I didn't talk about it and what you've been playing, but
yeah.
Me and Trevor, we played some more the other day.
Right.
Oh, I was so fucking angry.
Yeah, I saw something about that on Twitter.
Yeah, I hadn't played that game for a few weeks, and oh my god, we just got our asses handed to us left, right, and center, and it just didn't feel good. I was really angry. I'm like, yeah, fuck this game. Like,
yeah, that'll happen.
I was not happy. I need to practice, but that's not going to happen.
Because you're playing Destiny.
Yeah. Speaking of Destiny, the expansion DLC details have been leaked by the Xbox Store.
I saw that.
Curse of Osiris is the first expansion. It's taking place on Mercury. There's going to be more campaign, co-op activities. There's going to be a strike, most likely. No mention of raid. I imagine
they didn't say when this was coming out, right?
No. Who knows if it's going to be December like Destiny 1 with its first expansion, or if not longer, I don't know. There's lots of stuff they don't have still in Destiny 2, like the Trials of the Nine, which is, I think it's the PvP Trials of Osiris equivalent, the super competitive PvP.
Right, that's where the one that keeps all of your gear, it doesn't normalize everything, right?
No, it's like you bring in the dope shit, and if you have better stuff or you're more powerful, that you get those advantages.
Right.
What else is missing? There's something else missing too. Xur is coming. There's going to be holiday events. There's still more content coming.
I felt like I read something about Xur. Did they announce what day
Friday,
he was coming?
This Friday, the 15th.
Oh, okay. Is it going to be Sunday again, or is it going to be Fridays? Or
it's Friday. I imagine it'll be the same thing, Friday to Sunday morning. And word on the street is he deals in legendary shards because there's no like weird currencies in this game.
Oh, thank God.
So they've simplified that too. Oh yeah, there's
one thing that drove me crazy about the original Destiny was there was like 6 different currencies or more.
There's no currencies or mats or anything.
Fucking buy legendary shards, and then you buy...
You just infuse...
these shards, and then you had to get these strange coins, and then you had to get reputation points, which then made these other shards, and like...
No, you don't need any of that shit. You just need legendary shards. So from dismantling legendary gear, you get legendary shards, and then you infuse to power up weapons, you infuse them with legendary shards.
Okay.
And money. There's obviously a charge, but yeah, it's much simpler. And speaking of which, you can customize, you can put shaders on individual parts of your gear. You can put shaders on your weapons, your ships, your sparrows. So there's a whole level of customization that the first one didn't have. There's a little bit of controversy around shaders because they're single-use items in this game as opposed to a reusable item in the first game, so people are a little butthurt about that.
Right. Because I guess the theory being, like, if you get really cool shaders and you apply it, but then you got other really cool shaders, then you apply the new ones, then you can't reapply the other ones again.
No, they're undone. So you got to make some decisions about... You can't just willy-nilly change your colors like you could in the last game.
Right.
Which, whatever, it's fine. I like that you can customize stuff individually. I like that you can put shaders on your guns, so you can really customize your guns to a level that, this is my gun. It's a fucking pink neon glowing chrome gun. That's cool. You can do that.
That would be something you would do, I feel like.
You don't have to buy into it. You do get they call them bright engrams. Like, this is the controversy. You can buy bright engrams.
Oh.
Bright engrams are essentially all aesthetics. They do
okay.
They do have exotic ships and sparrows in them. They do have some gear armor in them, but it's all aesthetics. There is gear mods, but you can buy gear mods from the gunsmith. You can craft gear mods from the gunsmith, so I don't feel like there's any pay to win there. That's just one of the things in the randomized loot table, the bright engrams, which at the end of the day, you get bright engrams for free just from playing the game.
Interesting. Okay.
Every time after level cap, you hit a level. Because you remember in the first game...
Oh, right. Yeah, you would essentially level up all the way to the end.
You level the end, and then you would get... I think you got shit mats and motes of light in the first game, or maybe glimmer.
You got glimmer and motes of light, for sure.
In this one, you get a bright engram. You might get glimmer, I can't remember, but you definitely get a bright engram every time you level up. And every week on reset, experience is like boosted 3 times for your first 3 bright engrams. So
that's pretty cool.
You don't have to buy any of these. Like, people are caught up in buying these, but if they're buying them, it's because they're trying to get like the exotic emote or whatever. But you can just get it for free playing the game. So, and it is all cosmetic. I know people were really upset about the single use shaders, and I guess it's annoying if you want a specific one, and it is RNGesus to a certain degree, and you could just go buy the shaders that you wanted in the old game, though that was a rotating stock through a vendor, and they didn't have all of them, and most of them were RNG through reputation vendors. So, like, it's not like you could absolutely buy whatever shader you wanted in the first game to begin with. That being said, it was reusable, unlike this one. But man, honestly, I swear to God, I probably, with my one character, I think I have like 30 different shaders and multiples of each, and I don't even care to put them on.
Right, because I mean, you're gonna get a look that you like, and then
I'm gonna wait
figure out what your next look is.
I'm gonna wait until I'm like max light level with the gear set that I know I'm keeping. Then I'll start customizing, and by the time I get to that point, pretty sure I don't think I have less than 3 of any one shader.
Right. Okay.
And sure, you can't put the same shader on all 6 pieces, but you know what? On your helmet and your armor and your boots. And you can put other shaders on your gloves that match, right? Like, that's what I've done. I have wasted some of the, like, there's different levels. There's common, legendary, and I don't know if there's exotic shaders. I don't think so, but there very well could be.
Seems like something they probably would do.
I've made my guy look awesome with just common shaders. I did put a legendary shader on my Sparrow because it looked fucking awesome, because they're the metallic chrome style shaders, which they're really nice.
And you like the bling.
Yeah, I like the bling blang.
Yeah.
So anyway,
can you get spinners for your sparrow or
no? You can get cool sparrows with amazing like booster effects.
Oh, okay.
And the ships that you can unlock. There's not a lot of going to orbit and staring at your ships in this one, but when you like transmat or like zoom into a level, you know, when you like teleport into a level, different
you
ships
do see your ship then.
You see your ship then, but like say when you die and you like respawn, there's an effect when your character respawns. There's all kinds of random effects.
Oh, that's
and there's
cool.
a really cool one if you get one of the exotic ships by chance. It has like the Cabal drop pod effect. So your character like basically drops into the stage like in a Cabal like pod.
Oh, that's really pretty cool.
So there's all kinds of neat effects like that. And it's all aesthetics, right? So yeah, you can get butthurt that you can like it is all random. It kind of sucks. In the old game, you could spend real money and choose the specific emote you wanted, which is they've kind of done, it's all randomized now. That kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's all bullshit. It's nothing that affects gameplay. You just want to have the cool emote where your guy flips the table.
Fair enough.
Some of the emotes are very advanced in this game. Like they have like neon lighting effects and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they are.
I like that.
That's why some people are upset because you just want to buy that one, but it's RNGesus. Out of left field. LA Noire is coming to Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
And a spin-off in VR.
Yeah, and VR for Vive. A few cases in VR. I own LA Noire. I started it. I could never go back to it. Yay!
That's a game where I kind of feel like I owe it to myself to finish. Because I know I was probably 3/4 of the way through that game, and like I loved it a lot. I loved what it was
the people
doing.
who liked it a lot, and
but I do
see what the Switch version looks like.
I do agree with you, though. I do feel like it would be a hard game to go back to at this point.
Yeah,
but that being said, I think that's cool that they are at least redoing it.
That is coming. When is it coming? Next year or at the end of this year?
I don't actually know. I'm bad at this game.
November 14th. No date on the VR. Cool?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Well, like I said, there's like a ton of people that probably never played, like, because that was a PS3 game and an Xbox 360.
Yeah. Is it a remaster?
I mean, I would imagine
they're
it have to be at this
better
point.
textures. Enhanced, better textures, lighting, clouds.
Yeah.
Run natively 1080p. But they're not a full remaster, so they're just going to be better looking, smoother versions.
Right. Okay.
So it's probably, if you have PS3, you'll probably be okay just replaying that version.
That's a game that I was kind of surprised never got a sequel. I understand that the studio no longer exists, so that's why I didn't get a sequel, but I feel like that game did really well. It was a lot of fun to play. It sold, from what I understood, pretty good, and yeah, it was just weird that the publisher just decided not to make a follow-up to it. But
Blizzard's opening an esport arena in LA. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. That's awesome. Obviously,
gonna be big.
Esports is doing great for them. Hearthstone, Overwatch, and I assume probably StarCraft as well.
Yeah, it sounds like their Overwatch team in LA will play out of there, so that'll be like home team for them. And I'm sure they'll probably do like finals or something there as well. So yeah,
that's cool.
It's neat. It sounds like, I mean, they custom built an arena for freaking esports, which is, I'm wondering if they're gonna keep that Blizzard only games or if they're gonna allow other. I mean, I guess Activision.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Blizzard only.
I mean, I feel like Activision would be kind of dumb not to do like Call of Duty finals and stuff in there.
Maybe, right? But there's no mention. I'm pretty sure it's Blizzard only.
I feel like it would just be dumb to spend all that money and not. I don't know.
Nintendo announces that the NES Mini is back in production and should be available again next year.
That's crazy to me.
Next summer, I think is what they said, which is kind of weird because it's so far away. Reggie also came out in interviews saying, don't overpay for a Super Nintendo classic.
Yeah, he said that there is going to be a lot more.
There's going to be more Super NES classics at launch at retail than they've ever shipped of the NES Mini up to this point. That means there might be a small chance you can walk in day of and get one. There's going to be lots of restocks. I assume from this messaging, and they're going to continue production in the next year. They're not going to end it in Christmas like they originally said. They've been listening. People have been complaining. They've so slow to react. It's kind of infuriating. You'd think they'd just be making these, but it sounds like, it sucks you don't have an NES Mini right now, but it sounds like you're going to be able to get one. And then it sounds like the Super Nintendo Mini, let's be honest, it's going to be a clusterfuck at launch, but it's probably not going to be a total disaster over time. So like if you're patient, you should be able to get one at retail.
I feel like if you get in on it and start scouring now, once they finally go on sale, and don't wait too long to get close to Christmas, then you'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
But I feel like once that sort of Christmas frenzy starts, that may be a little harder.
But then it'll probably be easy to get one again next year after the Christmas chaos. Nintendo had a Direct today. We're getting a little long in the tooth, so I'm going to kind of glance over a lot of this stuff. A lot of the stuff was already known. They showed more Mario. Goddamn, that game looks freaking awesome. There is so much shit to do in that game.
Dude, that game comes out next month, man.
Check out the trailer, the new footage, new stages, new abilities, new characters. It's like, holy crap, there's so much in that game. We've just seen the tip of the iceberg with that game. Again, they showed Xenoblade Chronicles and a release date, December 1st. So you can see what Dane played and get a sense of that game for yourself now that there's trailers there. Skyrim as well. They announced the release date, which we didn't have when we were at PAX, but obviously now we do. The big surprise out of this presentation was that Doom and Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, are coming to Switch.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, actually. I'm wondering how those are going to run on Switch, but
I couldn't tell in the video. I think I could tell that it was a downgraded version, but
still it makes sense if you're going to play it at 720p instead of 1080p.
The big news here is that these are first third-party AAA games on the Switch, which is a good sign.
That's a huge sign, and these are new games.
Yeah, these are definitely new games. Like this, not necessarily games Doom, but Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. It's coming out at the end of October for current systems, but for Switch it'll be sometime next year. They said, but
right,
it's coming. You're getting
that's huge, man.
You're getting huge first-person titles on the Switch on the go. That's pretty fucking impressive. And they mentioned multiplayer. So, man, that'd be pretty cool playing some of these games multiplayer with your buddies, not at home.
That'd be pretty cool.
The new generation of couch co-op. There's some new 3DS games, Kirby Battle Royale. There's a new Pokemon-themed Nintendo 2DS XL, which looks like a Pokeball. I might have to buy it because I'm an idiot.
Just gonna say you've already pre-ordered it, right?
The pre-orders aren't open yet. But
okay, sorry.
They showed a bunch more of that Project Octopath Traveler from Square, the new RPG.
Right.
That looks amazing.
That looks really cool.
There's a demo in the eShop.
Yeah, you can download it right now if you want to Switch.
I'm gonna go download that shit. There's a Mario Party, the Top 100 for 3DS, which focuses on the mini games from all the Mario games, aka Mario Party, the Top 100. That's on 3DS, so some people were disappointed about that.
I was actually super disappointed. I was really hoping for a Mario Party on Switch.
I'm sure
that's the actual platform that you're selling now.
Pretty sure that's coming. Minecraft is available on the 3DS, and that's out now.
Because we needed another platform to play Minecraft on.
Of course we did. Updated trailers for Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yes. There's an Arcade Archives Mario Brothers game coming to Switch. which is, I can't remember which Mario games. I think it's like Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, and some other shit. I didn't see the trailer, so I can't remember them all. They announced dates for the Zelda Breath of the Wild amiibos are coming in November. New Fire Emblem amiibos are coming in, I want to say October, as well as the Super Mario Odyssey amiibos. What else is there? There's a Mario Odyssey Switch bundle coming out with Mario Red controllers.
I really just want those controllers.
Yeah.
Those are sweet controllers.
It
also comes with a Mario Odyssey carrying case as well.
So if you don't have a Switch, man, that's the bundle to get.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
going to be the Mad Christmas bundle this year.
They're going to kill it with that. Yeah, it was a nice direct. It was long. It was like 45 minutes. I got to go back and watch the whole thing because there's a lot of games and a lot of announcements. So, man, Nintendo's doing all right. There's some surprises. We got release dates for stuff we were expecting to get. There was amiibos for crazy people like me. It's freaking dope. So now I got Destiny 2 and some Metroid to play.
Well,
I think that is a show, my friend.
I think we've covered pretty much everything this year.
Yeah.
A little PSA / free-for-all. Apple announced a bunch of new phones.
Forgot about that.
Nobody at this podcast really cares, but we do know that there's probably people that listen to this that have iPhones.
I thought the iPhone 10 looked cool.
You mean the iPhone X? I mean 10?
It's expensive.
It's insane. It's
like
$1,300 in Canada.
After taxes and everything, that's a $1,500 phone.
And it's $1,500 for the top one.
That's fucking crazy.
It's insane.
It's a nice looking phone, though. I'm not going to lie.
No, it looks nice.
If I didn't get phones from work,
I like that they're finally going with a wireless charging in it, which I hope will kick everybody else in the ass. And
bezel-less and
now it makes me super curious what
it's basically like an Android. It's got everything we've had for years, but it's a nice form factor.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful phone.
It'll be super curious what the Pixel 2 looks like when they announce that next month.
Yeah, so that's early October.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to get an S8 through my work. I asked for a new phone. I don't know if I'm going to get an S8 though. We don't have any phones in stock. Usually they have phones in stock.
Oh,
so
really?
It boils down to I'm really hoping there are no refurbed S7s, and if there's no refurbed S7s, then I'll get an S8, but it's going to boil down to luck of the draw.
Right.
So I'm hoping I've just been getting a lot of dropped calls and like texts not going through, so it's like I need a new phone. I can get a discounted S8 through work, but at the same time it's like I don't really feel like I want to spend the money. Because after I buy it 3 or 4 months from now, they'll start giving all the guys at work S8s for free.
Right.
So there's a patience thing. It's like, wait long enough, it's going to be S8s absolutely by the end of the year, if not early next year.
Right.
So, but yeah, new iPhone. Looks pretty nice.
There's also an iPhone 8 that they did announce, which is essentially a lot of the similar features to the 10. I don't know why they skipped the 9. Like, to me, this is the weirdest thing. You're going to have the 8, the 8 Plus, and now they're announcing the 10 to go along with it.
10-year anniversary.
I know. It's such an Apple thing to do. I'm amazed.
So I wonder next year if it's going to be the iPhone 9.
I don't know what they're going to do. It's fucking Apple.
It's a cool looking piece of kit.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a nice looking phone. I'll definitely give it that. It's insanely expensive. I can't believe how expensive it is.
Yeah, the Note's pretty expensive too.
Yeah, it's
$1,200,
but yeah.
Well, it's $1,200, man.
These got expensive.
Yeah, like I really wanted the Note 8 until it was like, it's $1,200. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I don't need a pen on my phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll just get the penless version in a few months through work for free, and I'll be very happy.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, we're done, my friend.
That's all we got today.
Thank you for listening, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF.
You can come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube. All Geekoholics everywhere.
All Geekoholics all the time.
Of course, if you have the opportunity, leave us a review on iTunes, as that is one of the best sources for discoverability and new listeners. It would help us out a lot if you could leave a review for us there, good or bad, and or just subscribe to us.
Put us on your friends, devices.
On all your friends' devices when they're not looking, and
subscribe to us on there. They won't even know. That'd be great.
Subscribe to us on all the demo kiosks at the mall.
Oh, I totally do that. You don't do that?
Sneak us onto employees and customers' computers. Well, maybe not. Don't do that.
Maybe not that. I'd love to, but maybe not.
Until next week, or 2 weeks from now. I don't know if we're going to have a show next week, but we'll see what happens. If not, you've been warned.
Yep.
Dane, share lots of pictures at Disneyland.
Oh, you know it, buddy. All the pictures at Disneyland.
We are out.
Happy Disneyland.
Peace.